LA is in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Facebook. Welcome to the Lunch and Learn. If you're catching the replay, type in replay in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, we are going to get right to it. Queens is in the building, NYC is in the building. Welcome, everybody. So, I am logging in from Queens. I am logging in from Queens, New York. As you guys are dropping in, drop your city in the chat. Drop your city in the chat. So I'm really excited, y'all, to be doing a lunch and learn. I haven't done these in a long time. But over the next 3 days, y'all. So today, tomorrow, and Friday, I'm going to be coming on here at 1 p.m. For a lunch and learn series, a little lunch and learn series on the ABCs to starting your beauty supply store. The ABCs to starting your beauty supply store. 3 simple steps I want to go through with y'all over the next 3 days, right? 3 really simple yet really fundamental things that I want you guys to think about as you are opening your beauty supply store, right? So today I want to talk about the first step. Actually, let me back up. I'm like jumping around on it because I'm coming in hot, y'all. But let me back up because I do have a lot of new followers on here. So if you're new, welcome to the page. Welcome to the Power Circle group. My name is Janice Frederick Spell. I am your host. I am your mentor. I started in beauty supply over 13 years ago with my own beauty supply stores called Fabulous Freddy's here in Queens, New York. So I got started out of the need of wanting to see a change in this industry and also to make money. So I knew I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I just wasn't sure what. But I knew I loved retail and I knew I loved beauty. So beauty supply just made the most sense for me because I love those things and I knew that again I could make money in it because there's a beauty supply store on every corner here in New York City. So I opened my store in 2010. We ran those stores for over 8 years. And then I went on to doing consulting full time in 2017 because I saw that there was a great need for more Black owned beauty supply stores. And so pursued that and have been doing it for the past 5 years, help Black women generate over $3 million in beauty supply with just the clients that we have in our own network. And it's just been up. And it's up and it's up and it's stuck. And so, what I want to share with y'all today is just the ABCs of starting a beauty supply. And that's going to be the little series, right? And I'm going to continue to do these things. I used to do them a couple of years ago, and I was just like, I miss doing these lunch and learn series. So let me know in the chat also if this is something that is good for you, if this is informational, if this is helpful. Always let me know in the comments, right? Give me some feedback in the comments. So today I want to go through the A of the ABCs of starting a beauty supply, which is analyzing the market. Your first step is you are going to analyze this market. And this is literally the first step of like starting any business, right? This is, you want to sit and you want to make sure that you do research. And I know a lot of you guys are like, man, I go to the beauty supply store every single week. There's not that much research I need to do because I go to a beauty supply store, right? I felt the same way. But you want to sit down and you want to analyze the beauty supply industry because number one, you want to make sure that you know that this is a business that you're going to be successful in, right? So when I made the decision as I was standing in that store where I was being followed and all that stuff, when I made that decision that I wanted to open my own beauty supply store, I wanted to make sure that I could make the money, right? I want to make sure that I can make the money. I want to make sure that the competition wasn't a problem. I wanted to make sure that it was a recession-proof type of industry, right? I wanted to make sure that I knew all of these things going into it. Okay. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to sit down and you want to analyze the market, right? So understanding your customer base, understanding their shopping patterns, the buying trends, understanding the industry trends, all of that, right? That is what you want to do. So the first part, and I want y'all to write this down, is you want to identify your target market, your target audience, right? And so when we think about beauty supply stores and we think about like the large mega beauty supply stores that a lot of you guys are accustomed to shopping at, the store is giving everything for everyone, right? Because they're big and they have every single product underneath the sun. That is not going to be the reality for 90% of y'all watching here because we just don't have that type of money. Those mega beauty supply stores that have like over a half a million worth of inventory and it's like 10,000 to 20,000 square feet of space, they're like kind of like Walmart's, right? We don't have that type of money, y'all. So we have to niche down, right? We have to like really break down what is going to be our like it factor in our beauty supply store, right? So we want to sit down and we want to think about who is going to be our main customer that we're going to be serving in our beauty supply store. So for me, when I had first opened, I assumed that it was going to be women who was just like me, women who wore a lot of protective styling. Mind you, when I opened my store was over a decade ago, right? So it's 2010. And at this time, the trend at the time was the big chop. It was the big chop trend. And because I really wasn't paying attention to it and I wasn't really focused on it, I missed that initially when I opened my beauty supply store. This is why I'm telling y'all right now. This is what you want to do. You want to analyze the market. You want to analyze your customers. You want to analyze the trends, right? It's not just about you and what you're doing, right? It's not just about you and what you are doing. I can have a whole live just about creating a beauty supply store just based on what you like. You don't want to create a beauty supply store just based on what you like. That is a number one mistake I see people do, right? Because I did it. So once I understood that the trend at the time was the big chop and women were coming in trying to understand once they chopped their hair off what was the next step and what products did I need, I had shifted the product mix in my store, right? And I had then really sat down and I was really able to tell myself like actually my target audience are women who want to start over, who are very new in their hair journey, right? Because they just went and chopped their hair off, right? That was my target audience. And so I had to shift everything in my business to really cater to this woman. So that's what you want to do, right? You don't you want to sit down and you want to identify this person before you start the business, right? So don't make the same mistake I made, y'all. Don't make the same mistake I made. You want to sit down, take the time out to identify who this is. Is this a naturalista? Is this the girly that wears protective styling? Is Are you catering to professionals? And there's lots of stores that specifically cater to hairstylists and barbers. Is that you? Right? Is that you? Because there's a space for that as well. There's a space for that type of business model as well, right? You want to sit down and you want to think about that because understanding once again going back to my example and my mistake, understanding the current trends in your target audience helps you make the decisions when it comes to inventory, right? And even the type of brand that you create for your store. We're going to get into all of that, right? We're going to get into all that. Next thing you want to do, write this down, is once you identify your target audience, you want to then research their specific preferences, their specific buying patterns, their desires, right? You want to sit down and you want to do that level research, right? So we've identified, for example, we have identified that our target audience are women who have done the big chop, right? They have done the big chop and now they want to know what are the specific products and or hair regimen to get their hair to a healthy state, to a manageable state, right? That was what I was asking myself as I was continuing to build out my beauty supply store and order products for my store, right? You want to sit down and you want to think about, the products that they currently use versus the ones that they want to use. What are the brands that they absolutely love? You can do all of this through social media right now. So when I was doing this exercise, I had to go out and I had to be on foot and I had to do surveys. Right now, you can create your survey on social media and put it in your link tree in your bio and ask people to take the survey. You can do polls on Instagram. You can do polls on Facebook to find out this information, right? But you want to sit down and you want to find out the information, because the worst thing that you can do, and is another huge mistake that people make, is they go out and they buy all of this inventory, and it's not based on anything concrete. It's not based on what the community has told you, right? It's either based on, again, what you have told yourself, what you are using, what your friends and family's using, or it may just be based on, like, the Asian stores and Arab stores. It's just based on what the sales rep told you to buy. And I was talking about this the other night, right? They buy their stuff based on what the sales rep tell them. They do very little research, right? They don't talk to their customers like how we talk to our customers, right? So that's what's going to help you stand apart. This is what's going to help you become a profitable beauty supply store, right? Because you're not profitable if you have products and inventory in your store that's not moving. That's when the profitability starts to go down, y'all. That's a gem right there. Okay. So you want to make sure that you do that research, that you do the surveys, that you just put in that work, right? To get to know who your potential customer is going to be, right? You want to get that feedback. Next step, write this down, y'all. After you've done the information with identifying your customers and understanding them, now you want to move into identifying your competitors and studying them. This is a gem, y'all. So when I was starting up my beauty supply store, we only had like one other beauty supply store in the area. So, and it was like quite a miles away. So I was in my community in East Elmhurst, Queens. I was the only store, and then I was also the first Black-owned beauty supply store. But I knew my closest competition. I knew who they were, right? And so that's exactly what you want to do after you have identified your potential customers and you have done the research on that end. Then you want to identify your competitors, right? So you want to understand how many beauty supply stores is in this community, right? How far are these stores from where I want to set up? How many stores? How big are these stores, right? How big are these stores? And out of all the beauty supply stores in my community, like which stores are like the top 3 stores where people are shopping? Because it may not be the Ulta or the Sally's or the Target, right? So you want to be able to gather that information as well. Once you get to your top 3, you want to visit your top 3 competitors in your community, and you want to understand their pricing. You want to understand their store layout. You want to understand their product mix, right? If there is a product mix, which a lot of times there really isn't one, but if there is, you want to understand what that is. What are their top brands? How is their customer service? You want to understand all of that stuff. You want to just take a note of their strengths and weaknesses. So like in our programs, we do like a whole SWOT analysis based on our competition, because you need to know what they're doing, how they do business, why people shop with them. Is it just out of necessity? Is it because of their price points? Is it because of their convenience? They may have good hours. Maybe their prices aren't good, but their hours are good. Like, just a whole SWOT analysis, strengths and weaknesses. You don't need to go crazy. Don't become obsessed. That's another thing I will tell you. Do not become obsessed with your competition. Right. I feel like in my programs, I'm always like pulling people back in because they become too obsessed with the competition that they now take their eyes off of their own business because their eyes is on the competition. You don't want to do that. You don't want to take it that far, y'all. You just want to be able to know and identify your competitors. Right. Are they on social media? Well, how are they posting on social media? What kind of content are they posting on social media? Right. You just want to understand these things. Right? So that in turn, you can make sure that you set yourself apart, right? I want to say that because I don't want y'all thinking that you're going to copy them. You're not copying anybody, y'all. You are going to make sure that you set yourself apart from the competition. That's why we're doing this research on them, right? Because you want to set yourself apart. Next point, write this down. You want to understand the current market trends. current industry trends, right? Again, going back to when I first got started and I made that mistake of like, I was having all this wigs and weaves in my store. I wasn't really paying attention to what was happening in the moment. Women, they weren't buying wigs and weaves and all of that. They were chopping their hair off and I wasn't paying attention to it. Right. And I invested a good amount of money into the wrong inventory. Big inventory mistake. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to the current market trends, right? Because the Black hair care market is always evolving. Something new is always coming out, right? When I came out with my store, there was no crochet hair. Like crochet hair was not a thing, right? It's a whole movement now. Crochet hair is a whole movement now, right? Crochet hair, bundles was just starting to emerge when I started my store. Now it's like a whole thing now. You just want to stay on top of what it is, right? This is what is going to help you set yourself apart from the competition. This is so key, y'all. This is so key. You want to be in YouTube. You want to be at the beauty expos. You want to be going to the beauty shows, right? All the beauty events in your community. You want to be at those events. This is what's going to help you stay in the know of what is happening in the industry, right? You 100% need to keep your ears to the ground, right? This is what sets us apart easily. This by itself can easily set you apart from any other beauty supply store in your community. And then it also helps you, again, the main thing is that it helps you make really knowledgeable business decisions. You know, you are a businesswoman now. You need to be able to make educated business decisions on how you are going to spend the money in your beauty supply store, right? You can't just keep listening to the sales rep. I got a couple of sales reps on here and I love my sales reps, but you can't just rely on them. You have to be able to know this for yourself, right? That's a whole gem. That's a whole gem, right? So once we have done all of this stuff, right? Once you have done all of this research, you're going to take all of these different pieces and you are going to apply them to your own brand. Okay, you're going to take all of these pieces, right? And you are going to construct your own profitable, amazing beauty supply store, beauty supply brand, right? Which is going to lead us into the next step, which is going to be branding tomorrow. So you have to come back. You have to come back, right? For the B for branding. You're gonna have to come back tomorrow. Same time, same place, 1 p.m. y'all. But here's the thing. This Saturday, because I'm dropping gems and I'm doing this live series, which I'm very happy to be doing again. But this Saturday, y'all, is the 1-day intensive where I'm going to be laying all of this out for you guys. I'm going to be laying this all out for you guys. So if you have not gotten your ticket for this Saturday, where once again, we're spending the entire day together from 10 to 3, where I'm going to be laying out the specifics to what I'm sharing with you guys in detail on Saturday, right? So if you go to sixfigurebeautysupply.com to get your seat, it's only $47 for this full day event, right? It is a no-brainer, right? It's only $47 for you to get into the Zoom room. It don't get no cheaper than that. It don't get no cheaper than that because y'all know my conference tickets is $500. This is only $47, y'all. And some of y'all don't got y'all tickets yet for this Saturday. If you do the VIP, because I know what someone's going to say, I can't make it. If you do the VIP, you'll get the replay. If you guys do the VIP, you'll get the workbook, you'll get the replay, and then you get an additional evening session with me and my clients in the evening. Which is going to be an exclusive session just for our VIP holders. Okay. So if you can't make it on Saturday or you're going to be in and out doing what you do on Saturdays, I completely understand that. You want to get the VIP option so that you can get the recordings. Right? So there's a VIP option where the replay is included. And that's only $97. So you'll get the replays with the VIP. You'll get the actual workbook that we're going to be working from. All of my trainings are going to be coming from this workbook. So you'll get the workbook to take home with you. And then you're going to get our private after hours session. And y'all know I like to turn up after hours. So you'll get the private after hours session. That's going to be going down Saturday night with me and my clients. Okay. So sixfigurebeautysupply.com is where you need to go right now, because we're shutting it down on Friday. So go right now to hold your spot so I can see you guys on Saturday. All right. So sixfigurebeautysupply.com. I'm going to be back tomorrow, though, to go to the second step in the ABCs of starting a beauty supply store. I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Same time, same place. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.